All right, our series, A More Perfect Union, aims to show what unites us as Americans is stronger than what divides us. We reported earlier that President Trump plans to declare a public health emergency over the opioid epidemic. 4 women in West Virginia already have made it their first priority. They live in the state with the highest overdose rate in the country. Michelle Miller traveled to Martinsburg, West Virginia, to meet the hope dealers.
You can find it at all hours, whether it's late at night, whether it's, you know, in the middle of the afternoon.
Christy Plotner knows all the trouble spots in Martinsburg, West Virginia.
The worst part that you're going to see is Winchester Avenue. That's where a lot of activity goes on, from the 7-Eleven all the way out to the motels.
This was once a textile town, but the factories have long since closed. Many people here have filled the empty spaces in their lives with opioids. It's a city in desperate need of a hero.
Who's lost someone to heroin?
It got 4 of them, heroines actually, as ironic as that sounds.
I lost my son-in-law a week before Christmas 2015, and I lost my daughter in May.
Lisa Melcher, Tina Stride, Tara Mason, and Christy Plotner are 4 women all affected by the heroin plague.
I have a son that is actually 1 year clean from heroin.
Tara?
I was in a relationship that was touched with drug use.
How bad was it?
6 years.
I have a daughter who also got hooked due to prescription medication after a broken arm.
So all 4 of you know it can happen to anybody.
Absolutely.
They call themselves hope dealers. The 4 women came together at a meeting seeking support among other families harmed by addiction.
You kind of glance over at one, the other one's sobbing and crying. I'm sobbing and crying, and we just connected. Instead of dealing dope in our community, let's deal some hope. So that's how we became the Hope Dealer Project.
She is going to ask Valley to help her get into the rehab.
We call the detox centers. We secure a bed if they have one. And at that point, usually Tina and Christy go to the hospital with them, which they have to sit there for anywhere from 2 to 7 hours.
And how long are those commutes?
Closest one is 2.5 hours away. Furthest one is 6.5 hours.
So you're the hand holders.
At times.
And sometimes the butt kickers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One of the butts they kicked belonged to Tiffany Arredondo.
What has heroin cost you?
Everything that I had, my family, my home, cars that I had, my kids. I lost all the rights to my kids.
Arredondo's a recovering heroin addict. She grew up here. By her estimate, she's lost 22 people to heroin since high school, including a cousin and 2 sisters.
Who's helped you?
Tina, the Hope Dealers. The Sunday that I wanted to get help, January 7th, they actually chased me down the whole day. Went to my dealer's house, like, yeah.
They sound fearless.
Oh, yeah.
She's been clean for 10 months now.
So how long before this came along?
Peter Callahan is an addiction counselor in Martinsburg. He says the Hope Dealers have tripled the number of people getting access to treatment.
16 beds, what kind of a difference can that make?
It's a small drop.
And he credits them with applying pressure to the state to help fund a new detox facility in their city.
So what the Hope Dealers brings to the table is, here's an option for treatment. Here's an option for you to make a choice to get help. And they're taking it.
Christy, where does that commitment come from?
It comes from knowing that someone needs help. Knowing that a mother can go to sleep that night, knowing her kid is on the way to a detox center. They're not laying in bed wondering, where is my child?
So she told me on the way up there, I can't even believe I'm alive.
4 women dealing hope in a town where hope is hard to find. For CBS This Morning, Michelle Miller, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
And we should let you know that the Hope Dealers received recognition in WV Living Magazine's Wonder Women edition. That honor is important because their work is all volunteer. They rely on fundraising and donations. And Kudos. And once again, a reminder, these are people who are seeking solutions. They are solution focused.
Just their whole philosophy, though, of dealing hope and not dope. I hope people are getting out their checkbooks now, because you can see that's money well spent.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Local initiative.
That's right.
Well done.